Stephen.
Right, David, are you right?
I got it in first this time.
You did. Yeah, how are you?
Why are you so flat all of a sudden?
Well, I've lost weight. Is that what you mean?
You're looking like weird all of a sudden.
No, I'm
Why are you
good.
looking weird?
So you're doing that thing again where you're talking to me and completely ignoring that there's like a couple of chavvies over there looking at us.
Couple.
Yeah. Who the fuck are you? And why are you on our
breaking
screen?
our couple cherry.
Yeah, we are breaking a couple cherry. Very happy with that.
Come on, tell me who you
Come
are.
on, who are you? Who are you?
Well, my name's Guy, and I'm a cook by trade. At the St. Elliot Hotel. Careful with the word cook. Yeah, I tried to emphasise the word cook and not drop that extra C in there. And this is my wife, Becky.
Hiya.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if it wasn't?
I know.
That would be
Can you imagine?
Shit now, wouldn't I?
Oh my God! You would be in so Guy and Becky.
Yeah.
Guy and Becky, fantastic. And we obviously...
no, hang on.
No, what? I haven't said anything.
Because you all evening be like, no, it's Bec. It's Bec. Call her Bec.
No. Because So because we spoke to Guy's... I can't... This is like not even on a hair thing. So we spoke to your sister, didn't we, Guy, originally?
Yeah, she's at Nikki. She
works at St. Eggs.
Yeah.
And my brain does this weird thing. I was thinking it's Guy and Nikki, and I was like, no, it's Beck's. And I was like, no, it can't be Beck's because Beck's owns St. Eggs.
Yeah, Beck's.
So, my brain was doing that weird trick.
Right.
So Beck's, Becky, whatever you fancy.
I think she looks more like a Becky, to be fair.
Becky.
Yeah. I've been called lots of different things, but we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Beck's.
All right, cool. So you're a chef?
I am a chef. I've been a chef. I've been a chef for about 25 years, and started off in a local restaurants and working in the sort of local chippy, tumbling potatoes and making chips, and went into making the salads and all that sort of stuff. And as off the back of school, and a bit of extra pocket money, and then. Went to college to go and study to go into the police, and realised that I just didn't like the idea of desk work.
And it couldn't run very fast.
And
I thought you were going to say you weren't tall enough.
That's pretty rude, but there we are. Anyway.
Straight in there, Becky, love it.
So we went to, so I started that, and then just found out that I really, really liked it. So I went, when I worked in Cornwall for a while, then went to London, worked for some good chefs up there in sort of high-end restaurants. Went to Devon, and then went to Gidley Park, worked for Michael Caines there, and then came back down to Cornwall. And I was at this bit of a weird crossroads of what I was going to do next. I had an opportunity to go to the USA or to go to Australia, but I had recently found out I had a broken hand for about 2.5 years from playing football.
What do you mean you recently found out?
It happened off the back of Gidley. My hand kept seizing up; it kept locking, and I didn't really know what was happening. So I went to to Oakhampton, and they scanned it, and they said, "Yeah, you got a broken hand from an injury I got 2.5 years ago." So I had to come back down to Cornwall to have a sort of quick op on it, and ended up helping out a friend called Tom, and met her, and ended up giving up on all of my live streams.
I was away. He was a chef. It was love over the past.
Oh my God! So you were a waitress.
Love over the past.
I was.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was doing my
eating my fucking bread. Basically, I spent a shitload of time making this olive bread.
I like food.
And I had a spiral all the way through it. And the waiting staff at the restaurant had to carve the bread and then send it. And she wouldn't do that. She would come in and carve it and then eat it in front of me.
Eat it.
And we didn't really hit it off particularly well to start off with.
No, I shouldn't think you did. I think I'd probably got off my nose a little bit.
Yeah, and
fucking anything goes up your nose.
True. Yeah. Shut up.
And then we went to, and then that was it. And then I asked her out and stuff like that. And then here we are, 14 odd years from there later. Two kids.
When you say stuff like that, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, we went out. I pursued her and like the clumsy oaf I was in those early days, it took quite a lot of. It tried to kind of to convince her. Took quite a bit of time, but eventually she did come round and realised that I was actually.
It sounds like he's being quite coercive.
Yeah,
Well,
it
did come round.
I don't want to say the words, but yeah, it's amazing.
Blink once if you need help.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then we ended up moving in together. Becky studied to be a nurse, went to uni, did all of that, and then that's where the sort of journey started.
So I don't work in hospitality anymore. I'm a nurse, so I've been a nurse for about 10 years now. So yes.
So what's your side of the story then, Becky? So obviously, let me set the scene. So you obviously, you're kind of just trying to get on with your life, doing some waitressing, in a restaurant, maybe feeling a bit peckish, just trying to find your way through life.
Wanted some bread. That's all I got. I took some bread and ended up married with 2 kids. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, just over a slice of bread.
Yeah.
So it must be good olive bread.
He was hammering the fucking loaf. That's what was happening.
I'm a greedy girl.
Must be good olive bread.
I need feeding.
Yeah.
So I was doing my waitressing as I was doing my college course and stuff like that, and doing my training and everything, trying to earn some money. And it wasn't really something that I was looking for. And we just kind of hit it off, really. Yeah.
So what can you tell us? Any kind of because obviously he kind of skimmed over the effort that he put in. Was there anything that was specifically kind of that kind of keeps you awake at night? Maybe that you remember.
I did ask you for.
Oh, sorry. This is a question to Becky.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I feel like you're
just turn everything down.
Hush, hush.
Yeah.
No, he was a perfect gentleman. I remember he came to my college once, Valentine's Day. He had all the chocolates and the flowers. Didn't take much to impress me. I was a college student at the time. Okay, so he had what car did you have?
I'm getting fucking.
What? No. What car did you have? It was a.
I had a red Renault Clio, which had the wing mirror was held on by duct tape and a lollipop stick.
Yeah, score.
Yeah,
classy.
And he'd stolen the flowers from a grave on the way there.
Exactly. Yeah.
He can drive.
Yeah.
He can drive.
Yeah. And cook, and I can cook a bit.
He can cook. And so I was like, sold.
Bread.
That's it. Bread.
Did you notice Becky said 2 things the same twice? And she was struggling for a second. He can drive.
I didn't see any looks. Nothing about my looks, my wit,
it was
my charm.
loaf at first sight.
Don't fucking do this. Don't do this.
So what was so good about his bread then, Becky?
Just doughy. Just
doughy.
Doughy? You don't want it doughy. That's not a compliment.
She struggles with the use of words.
I do. He does the cooking. I eat the food. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I mean, I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so it was like
probably bread.
Yeah, probably bread.
It was bread.
Yeah,
for fucking lunch.
So then you got two kids as well. Now that's mental, really.
Yeah,
because you're obviously still chefing, and you're now a nurse, Becky. You've qualified and all that. So obviously, really kind of career driven, and you've managed to bring 2 kids into the world. How's that working out?
Yeah, it's good. They keep us on our toes. I don't think, to be honest, we're in a massively privileged position because both our children's grandparents, so my mum and dad and your mum and stepdad and everything, they live here in Cornwall, so we've had a massive amount of support from them. Which we probably we wouldn't have been able to done half the things that we've done without them. They've been.
You obviously both do long hours, don't you?
Long hours.
Yeah. I mean, but when you first started, you were up at Truro Lisk, weren't you? And she was doing 13-hour shifts then. Which are the same.
That's flipping. That's half day. That is for a chef.
I know.
13 hours.
Very lazy. Very lazy. We were doing it, and I was at Idle when we were together and we got married. I was running the Idle Rocks and the St. Maur's Hotel, and that was very taxing. It was about 85 hours a week, roughly on average. We were working as like a team there, and so yeah, Bec was pumping in the hours too. And I think it was I don't know. It's one of those weird things when you become a parent, because until you become a parent, you don't really know how much you can just make stuff happen. And I think we got married and we were both very focused on wanting to be parents. And I got into my 30s, and it was sort of always been my action plan of sort of growing up was, find a job that you love, and then work very hard at it at a very high end to get good at it to a point where you can plan your future properly, without having to question where's the next turn or whatever, to make things as easy as you sort of can. And I think with having Bec finding her job and her passion as well, we were, to be honest, both pretty blessed, to be in work that we both loved, see a future in, and we could plan, properly, tens of years going forward. So we got married, and then the idea to have children was we wanted it, and then
we both knew that we wanted to be parents really early on.
Harry's our firstborn's due date was on our first year wedding anniversary. So we didn't waste any time. Yeah, we didn't waste any time with that. So we had Harry, and then it changed. Everything changes. It obviously does. And then we had Charlie a few years later,
a little COVID baby.
Yeah, and he was a COVID baby. He was born in July 2020, so right in the middle of it all this COVID stuff. And then,
jeez, that's
yeah. Well, Becky was still working because she was a nurse, so we were at home. So it was crazy because Harry.
Well, no, I wasn't working when it first started because I was pregnant.
You come off with Charlie, I
was pregnant, so they said that I had to go home.
But Harry was still going to
nursery, but then he stayed home for a bit. It was like not long afterwards. We all stayed home because
that was a weird time, wasn't it? COVID, man. That was a weird time.
Oh, very weird.
Fuck for hospitality as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Still fucking it as well.
So how old are your kids now?
7 and 4.
7
and 4. So
Harry's 7 going on 20.
7 going on.
Nothing changes, is it?
Yeah, they're very, very different. And boys, Harry's Harry's
pragmatic.
Very
first child down the line. Has to be a certain way. And the second, Charlie, he's just feral.
Fucking carnage.
Yeah.
That child.
He's crazy. He's mental.
That is the way, though. That is what happens, I think. And I think a lot of that is because of the way, like, I don't know about you guys, but certainly when I had my first, it was, you were fucking on point for everything. You got to buy brand new everything. Your little red book, you go every week, get it stamped. Next one, you're like, that all goes out the window. You don't need none of that shit.
Yeah.
What about your third one?
Third one? What third one?
Don't know their name.
Yeah.
No. Proud living in my house.
No, that's absolutely crazy. So that's like a mental story, though. Really, like, just phenomenal that you've gone from and so quick. So, how long were you together before you got married?
It was 6 years.
6 years,
yeah. 6 years. So it wasn't.
So made sure that they were happy.
We moved to Jersey for a year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Where a year thing.
That was a fucking nightmare.
That was tough.
It wasn't right for us. We went to do, because basically Becky had just finished uni, and I was leaving the Driftwood working under Chris Eden, and I'd been there for about 4.5 years and stuff, and I needed to move on. And we got approached by this couple over in Jersey and said, "Look, we want to open a sort of group of like restaurant." And it was really the wrong decision from me, but they sold us the dream. It was extraordinary, and it taught me a lot actually about how to listen, and to when you take your next jobs, and how you listen to what people are actually selling you and what's actually there. So it wasn't as it seemed. You know, we were going into some good money, and living on Jersey meant that we were paying like 2% tax. It was just like, so
It's crazy.
your income was really strong.
But it made us realise actually how much we loved Cornwall and how
Yeah.
much we wanted to be in Cornwall. So
Yeah.
It was a thing in
What about the cows there? Because they've got good quality milk over there, haven't they?
They have got good quality milk, but the milk's
You can
fucked.
go off really quickly though.
Yeah, it was really weird how it all works over there. Yeah, it was all really weird, but I just didn't get on with Jersey. It's like the whole island. It's very new money meets old money, and
a bit culty.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd.
Loads of bankers.
Yeah,
like a lot of it was like,
yeah, well, of course,
you worked in at the hospital, you worked in banks.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, it was the whole financial thing. So I could quickly sort of spoke to Beck and said, look, this isn't going to work out for me. But Becky had to complete a full year. Yeah, she had to do a full year. So I got the phone call about the Idle Rocks, and yeah, we were apart for about 3 or 4 months. Because I took that job and left Becky over in Jersey.
Stranded me over on a bloody island.
Oh, it was the
That's
most
a test.
It was the most peaceful 3 fucking months of my life. It was wonderful. But no, that was our first real test as a couple. I think moving to Jersey as a couple, you've got each other. But when something like that breaks down, and then you've got to split for a while. And then come back down to here. So that was tough. I mean, that was really hard, and I had to submerge myself in my work. And we were recently engaged, and we were trying to plan the wedding. And I suppose we had a good amount of stuff to keep us motivated,
keep busy,
and to keep going with it. So then when Beck eventually moved over,
I quite liked it, not because because I missed you massively, but that was the first time I'd ever lived by myself anywhere. So like I'd only with my parents, or I'd lived in Jersey. So he'd been in like London and all these other places, and he'd lived independently, and that was like the only kind of 3 or 4 months I've ever lived independently by myself. So it was quite. It made me realise that actually, it made me learn more about myself in like a roundabout way.
Yeah,
I had to go and like you submerged yourself in work, I had to kind of go and
create new friendships.
Did you go and seek out any other chefs while you were there, Bex? Like
she would have been fucking mind sweeping.
I said to Guy, I could never leave you because I love his cooking so much.
That's the food.
His cooking was just another level.
To be high maintenance, so yeah.
She is now.
Yeah.
Thank Christ you can cook, Guy.
I know.
What is
my hair's falling out. Well, look at that hairline. I'm
me too,
really
mate.
What's the favourite thing? Your favourite dish he cooks for you, then, Bex?
Probably a Thai broth, like a seafood Thai broth. That's nice.
Ooh.
Like that.
Did you know that guy?
Yeah, no, I do know that because you always fucking ask for it.
Yeah. So, is there anything he's ever cooked for you, Beck, that you thought she said that you've gone, fuck me, this is terrible, like, or just not as good as he's ever, but you love him obviously, so you've just been like, oh, that's nice, babe, yeah, it's lovely.
Delicious. Yeah, delicious.
When I first met him, like my palate was so poor, so you were so unadventurous with food.
She only ate ham, egg, mash and gravy. She drank cups
staples
of gravy.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite. It's still my favorite dish.
Yeah,
ham, egg, and
cup of gravy.
Yeah,
staple with gravy.
With a little potato that you plop in, like a roasty. Plop.
Yes. Plop.
Yeah. What's that thing I like fucking eating? What's it called? Where you get the is it plantain?
Plantain.
Or plants? Where you just get a big bowl of fucking chips and cover them in gravy and cheese. What's that called? That's called something.
That's what I was talking to Alf about the other day, about putting it on. Yeah. Chips, gravy, and chips, cheese, and gravy.
Amazing. I love it.
Funny little name.
It's called. It's not. I know plantain is like a fucking like a banana, isn't it?
Yeah,
it isn't a banana.
Plantain.
What is it? Have a look.
Chips.
Oh God, this is sorry. Might be a few minutes. Like
You
fucking
know,
going to the
you're the
reference
one
library.
throwing
We've got
fucking
to know these
curveballs in
things.
it.
We've got to know.
Poutine.
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 That's poutine, not plantain.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah. So you need to get all over that, Bex. That sounds like it's right
Yeah.
up your
That'll
street.
be my next one. That's my next request.
Poutine, gravy, chips.
Bit of poutine.
Poutine.
No,
Sound
no.
like-
Well, hang on a minute, chef. It needs to be chips first.
Oh God, here we go.
Chips first,
Yeah.
then gravy,
Right.
and then cheese all over the top. And if you
Don't try telling guys, Top Chef, to
you-
fucking
and
put that
then-
together.
And then
and then you put more gravy on top.
You can't use like good cheese though. You've got to use the really shit kind of plasticky type cheese.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like like
You need a bit of tasty. You need a bit of mozzarella.
controversial. This is making my
No.
fucking toes curl. This, by the way.
Cheddar. Yeah, okay.
Conversations. Okay. We
I
have.
don't know if you answered the question though, Bex. Did you?
What was the question? I can't remember.
What was the shittiest thing?
Yeah. What was the shit? Even if you did have a shit palate, what did he cook for you that you thought was particularly shit?
To be honest, probably if it's like, what are those dishes which is like you do like cold salmon with like cucumber and stuff, like the fancy kind.
like a tartare thing.
What are you saying?
Like I don't know. It was like when we went to. I don't know. I to be honest, I can't think of any. I can't actually think of any where I've been like,
Yeah. Bite.
You're just
Right,
trying to break us. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Well, no, it's just
See what they're
good to
doing.
say.
So,
Stay
So
strong.
do you
Say strong.
do you cook then, Bex?
I cook like
a very good
Family meals, so-
pork roast.
roast,
Very good pork roast.
like things like cottage pies and fish
yeah.
pies, like big family meals. I wouldn't cook like steak and kind of
Yeah.
fancy
Hearty food. Good, tasty, hearty food.
Like Ponzi food.
carbonara.
Yeah, carbonara, very good at that. The classic
Oh.
carbonara.
So I mean,
That
my
was
guy's not home a lot, so people say to me, "Oh, he must cook for me all the time," and I'm like, "No, because he's never home to cook for me. So the only days we have off together are Sunday,
yeah.
and then every other day of the week."
And he makes you make a pork fucking roast on.
I know.
That's a nightmare.
Yesterday, I need to be looked after too.
Well, have you not heard of prep, Guy?
Yeah.
Oh. Fucking
But I
hell.
tell you what though, Bex, I do feel for you, right? Because you know what, the first time I come round this dickhead's house, right?
He's talking about me, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry if you misunderstood.
I
when he
come
said
out
dickhead.
and I thought to myself, he says, "Oh, come round, we'll have a bit of lunch." So I was like, "Oh, this will be nice."
So he's fucking expecting
just
like
pipe
lobster.
down a minute. Just
Wouldn't he?
come round. Do you know what he made me?
What?
Cheese on toast.
Banger. Elite.
Yeah,
Not even fucking sourdough or anything
Elite.
like that.
Fucking, what do you mean, knock up some sourdough?
Where's the bloody
Yeah.
balsamic
Thank
vinegar, olive oil?
Nothing. None of that shit.
Nothing.
No.
We want no Worcester sauce or
Have
anything.
all of his.
Elite food.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think you need to apologise now. We got our guests saying.
I think the thing is about it, right, is that I think people. It's like when you go round to people's houses, being a cook. There seems to be this. Everyone gets on like edge, and then you don't realise as a chef, our diet usually is pretty shit. Like especially when you're sort of like in this sort of like early stages of learning and training and stuff. You eat on the fly constantly.
I think it's all about expectations, isn't
Yeah.
it? When you go to McDonald's, you have a certain expectation. So you're paying a certain amount of money and expectation for the food you're going to get. Like, but if you were to go to somewhere else like Italy or Ramsay's or whatever, obviously you're paying the money, so you expect it. But
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you weren't paying, pricey.
Hey?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think like mates,
Boring the fucking tits off me now. Can we
mates,
move on?
mate. There's got to be some benefit to being your friend. Do you know what I mean?
You can just hang out with me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
presents.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
for
What
that.
more do you want?
Chefs have got the best banter going for a start.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's
Thank you very much.
Is that true, Bex?
Yeah, it is.
oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, I've got a question for you both. Obviously, the trades you're in, one being nursing, another one chefing,
Thanks for clarifying that, by the way. I'd
Yeah,
forgotten.
but I need to build up.
Sorry.
If you want to
sorry,
calm the fuck down for a second,
Sorry,
I'm building up to it. And you both, obviously, very high pressured. You've experienced lots of different scenarios. When it comes to obviously this podcast being about men's mental health, but we like to see from both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Do you guys suffer at all, or have you done? And what? Because obviously the jobs you're doing, they're both. Bex is doing 15 hours a week, sort of part time, 15 hours a day. Sorry, part time. Guys on 22, 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
Jest.
Yeah.
So what, you must have seen you must have been through the ringer, both of you.
I think, I mean, we've done it, I think, in different ways. I think, at the end of the day, I think it's important to clarify that everybody goes through something. And I think, actually, the one thing about mental health, I mean, I've been a big driver of it in sort of my work, because I've seen how sucked up people can get from it, and how things can change for people. So we often, back in the 80s and 90s, we always saw somebody move to booze or to drugs or whatever like that. That was just sort of what kind of happened, and men kept very quiet about mental health back then, because they didn't want to be seen to be weak. And I think that's careful how we say that, because I don't think it was necessarily about being weak. I just think it was a case of people would give up on them quite easily. It would, like, if you went to your boss and you said, I'm feeling shit, I'm feeling really low, or whatever like that, they would listen to you and say, oh, you poor thing, or anything like that. But the second that they left the room, that they've gone to the other chefs, the senior chefs or whatever like that, and they've gone, well, fuck him, he's fucked. We need to just, crack on. He's going to hand in his notice, and we got to move on. And I think one thing I've tried to advocate in my life is the fact that I've seen a lot of men struggling at different times for different reasons. And it's not always just the pressure of the work. It can be pressure at home. It can be pressure on themselves, about themselves. And I always had a kind of respect for it, but I never really respected it as much as when I went through a sort of blip, really. Easter 2023 Easter, and I was working like a dog, and I had a really strange upbringing. My mum was the most incredible woman, but single parent. My dad wasn't really in my life, and having two sons, a massive aspect for me, and something that I kind of live through a lot now, is making sure that I'm as present as I can be for them. And actually, the pressure of the work never fazed me. It never fazed me. What broke me was being in on an Easter Sunday and watching families and their children playing outside. And when I wouldn't work Sundays normally, but I had to be there because we had a chef walk out or whatever like that, whatever reason it was, but I had to be there. And it was like, I have a few sacred days a year, and Christmas I suck up. I know I've got to be there on Christmas Day. So I get up super early with the kids. We do stockings and stuff, and then I'll go to work, and I'll come back at about 4 p.m. And then we can finish our Christmas Day then. And it hurts, but you got to do it. But there's nothing really eats at me being a dad than missing out on something which like that. And I remember just standing out inside the brasserie ahead of a really busy lunch and just being like, fuck, it really fucking beat me up. And I felt like shit. And I never had experienced the feeling before. And I woke up the next day, and do you remember my eyes were all fucking puffy? It turned into not being in my head, but it was actually physically on me, right? And it was like,
Wow.
I'd never experienced it. My eyes were really puffy, and I was like, I don't know. It was extraordinary. And I was like, really shitty, and in the mornings and stuff, I was really short with the kids and short with Beck for a period of time. And I was like, every fucking morning, I was knackered from it. God thinks what Beck was going through and how tired she was, of this thing of treading on eggshells every fucking morning and all that sort of stuff. And I'd just be shitty. She'd be like, is everything, do you sleep okay? And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I just need to get fucking ready, and I need to go, and I need to do it. And it was I don't know. It was
Christ.
just something that I had to break. So, but this the beauty about, I suppose, Beck and I, been through a lot as a couple, and it was Becky really who was just sort of like, fucking stop, just stop. You gotta sort of sort this out. And I'd had some therapy a few years prior, which was a really interesting thing for me, and a lot of it rooted to past problems and all the rest of it, but I was there and I didn't really feel I needed to be there, but actually having gone to do it, because a lot of my other friends, some of them in very high roles, who were very well-known people, who'd gone and sort of done it too. And they said it fucking changed everything for them. Having somebody be able to mentalize your mind in a way where you could actually consume it and process it was crazy. And it taught me loads and loads and loads on how to sort of like go through sort of like self-help, and to recognize that the times when things were tweaking, and it really worked for me. But that Easter, it was really odd. It was just a really crazy moment in like my life, and I'd always had huge respect for mental health, but experiencing it myself, and of course, the sort of show needs to kind of go on, doesn't it? When you're a senior chef, and everyone's looking to you to be up and pumped and to be guided.
As a chef, I think as a man,
I
think that there is a massive expectation of men to be obviously the providers, to be kind of the flagship of the family, to kind of pay the mortgage and make sure the family's set and all of that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of expectation.
How long did that last for, Guy? How long were you feeling?
I don't know.
So you knew you were feeling you're feeling crappy, but you couldn't understand it.
I think because you see, the thing is that
I think it went on
mental health. Yeah, the mental health thing. I think people are always like, if you don't understand it, I think people feel like mental health. It goes, oh, I just feel sad and poor me, and it's this whole kind of like, this sort of like poor me show. But it isn't. It was just you just feel fucking like shit. Like you just feel like shit.
Nobody would choose to feel that
fuzzy. Way. Yeah, you're fuzzy, you're fucked, and you can't see past your like nose really, which was a totally new thing for me, and it lasted. I came out of the bad bit, the bit which made me realize something was wrong, and I try to stabilize that, but I think it went on for quite a few months.
To be fair, I don't think that was the first time that you experienced it though, to a varying degree, because after Charlie was born.
And I had some postnatal depression's a big thing with our family, and Bec had gone through some postnatal depression following the birth of Harry, our first, and then I went when Charlie was born. He was born in the July, and I was off work because we'd shut down at the end of that year, just before Christmas or just before New Year. And we went through that sort of January period, and I couldn't bond with Charlie at all. I just couldn't get my head around it. I just couldn't bond with him. And it was like,
I think that was an amalgamation of things. I think like with COVID, with the stress of obviously work and everything, with the uncertainty of things. And not only that, but he only was able to come to the first scan, and then he didn't have any input really from then on in regards to like the visits and stuff, the scans. And I think that's a massive part of the bonding experience, and being able to feel a part of the pregnancy, because obviously I'm a part of it massively, because I'm carrying the child, like, Charlie, I was carrying Harry. So I had a massive involvement in that. But then obviously when he came, it was, I think it was funny because I struggled with Harry and he struggled with Charlie. It was kind of a bit of a role reversal.
Yeah.
In a sense.
It was.
It's true what you say, Guy, about unless you've experienced some sort of mental health episode, moment or whatever, it's difficult to say. Because I was saying on the podcast, I don't know, a few weeks back, just one day I was at work and I just felt like didn't feel right. Just something happened. Like nothing happened in particular, but just something in my brain just wasn't right. By the time I got home, I knew that I needed to do something about it. I knew I needed to go for a run. Run usually gets me out of it. And my girlfriend was, should we go out for a walk? And I said, well, so I walked in and just said, I've learnt now, if I'm feeling crappy, just talk about it straight away.
Yeah,
Just get it out there, and then I'm set. And I said, well, I'll come for a walk. Still felt I just felt absolutely worthless. So I was like, right, I need to go for a run. Ran for like, I don't know, 40 miles. 40, no, it wasn't. It was about 3 miles, 3-4 miles. And just
40 miles.
But literally, so what I do generally is I'll run until my head stops shouting at me, till my brain stops shouting, and then once it starts calming down, I start running back, and I come back, and I felt absolutely amazing for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I used to suffer with longer sort of episodes of feeling worthless, but now it sort of might last a morning, maybe a little bit longer, or maybe a few hours, but I know to sort of feel my way through it. But people who haven't experienced it just don't understand it, because it's such a weird thing to try to to understand.
You can't get it out. And you know, I've always had people in my teams who've suffered to a certain level, and you know, I say this in the most gentle way I can, but I think when you've experienced something yourself, and then you have somebody that you work with, or you know, who you talk to a lot, who's really going through a constant battle, a long-term battle, right? And then you get another side of it where you have people who use it as a reason to act in a certain way, and actually they're not going through that thing, and that makes my fucking piss boil, right? Because it really pisses me off. And actually, it's a thing that I think COVID spearheaded some of it to a certain degree, and people have got bored and spent too much time on social media. But I found a real influx in the last few years of people using it as a reason to act a certain way. Or, you know, if you're putting a chef up on something, and, you know, we don't do screaming and shouting and bollocking in our kitchens. I've gone through all that through my life, but we don't do that now. It's just a waste of fucking time. Everybody feels shit afterwards. Yeah. And then you've got to spend hours trying to pick the fucking team back up because you've been a complete dickhead. But I feel like when you get people who then you're putting them up and you're trying to train somebody, and then they'll just make up something to do with their mind and mental health and shit like that. And I think, fuck, man, there's somebody stood literally next to you who every fucking day has to wake up and has to battle. Every fucking, it must be the most exhausting thing to live with. And you know, I've had people who've just broken down for no reason, just in tears halfway through cooking a steak or whatever, you know, and then you have to take them outside and to calm them down and go like, you know, just take 10 minutes, let's talk about it all later. And I think sometimes people just need that to be like, you know, you're not stupid or silly or weak for feeling that way, or for these things happening, you know. It's something that's a very natural thing, and some people struggle with it more than others. And you know, I've never seen mental health as somebody being weak. It's something I didn't understand, and actually experiencing Becky's postnatal depression with her, and just seeing how raw it can be, and how tough it can be, but also seeing the strength of the person to come through it, right, and to get out the other side, and the way that Bec did. I mean, you were suffering for about 6 months.
It was about 9 months, probably. The 9 months I went back to work after Harry. But I was on sertraline for about 6 months.
Yeah, but she came off it without. Which she didn't tell me that she was coming off it.
I mean, there's a difference.
And it was amazing.
A difference between men and women when it comes to mental health. Men are very much like they internalize things. Women are just innately better at talking about things, and I think I again am in a bit of a privileged position because I work in health. So I'd already had training in mental health and working with people with mental health issues, and all types of different scenarios and things. So I mean, women are just innately better at talking about things. So when it first kind of cropped up, I was in the beginning. I didn't talk about what was going on much, more so because I was like, I think I felt really ashamed because I didn't feel that kind of when Harry was born. It was quite for me personally, I know maybe not to other people, the labour and the whole experience was quite traumatic. It wasn't what I expected.
48 hours she was in there.
I mean, people go through people go through worse. I mean, you know, and in my head I was thinking, go through worse, you know.
48 hours.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, man.
There
It's
were
brutal.
a few things that happened in that
Jesus.
time.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to come out. He was
Yeah.
clinging on in there. So when he was born, I didn't feel that thing that, you know, when people say, oh, you will love them. Like when they come, you will just love them. You'll jump in front of the train for them. And then like he came and I was like, I don't feel that like overwhelming sense of like connection and bonding and love.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk about it first because, and I was just pretending like everything was okay because I was ashamed. And I thought, if I tell people that I feel this way, they're going to think I'm a horrible mother. It's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted was to have a child and to be a mum. And now obviously this is happening. And it was really weird. It was actually the Manchester bombings. I was watching that on the television with Guy, and I just went upstairs and I just had a complete panic attack. And he was shouting up to me, "Are you okay, love?" I was going, "Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm fine." You know, pretending like again everything was okay. But you know, I think
Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean,
It was a really full on period of time.
But like I think that's why you suffered maybe a little bit more with Charlie, because when he was amazing with Harry, because when all of this stuff was going on with myself, I was it's a complete blur, to be honest, you know, that newborn kind of phase, because Guy completely kind of took over and he held, you know, he was kind of took control of the situation. He was very, 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 very involved. Not that like dads aren't, but like to a point where like he would like when I was sleeping and I was trying to have some respite, he was like, you know, he had Harry and he was doing like above and beyond. But when Charlie came, I didn't have postnatal depression.
Oh, she was straight in and fucking
so straight in now. I was like,
done.
Great, perfect. So I think that was a bit strange probably for you, because whereas you had so much involvement with Harry, you then suddenly didn't have that kind of involvement with Charlie.
Yeah.
But
maybe, but it was for me, it's the thing I think that was the most shocking, the mental health thing that shocked me was the whole physical stuff.
Yeah, I think I lost
my head around that. You lost a lot of weight.
Yeah,
She was in crippling pain. She had these cramps, these cramps in her stomach and stuff. And it was all linked to this depression. It was extraordinary, and it was this really sweet nurse. We'd gone back into the hospital, and this really sweet nurse had come up to me, and nobody, fucking doctors and everybody, right? Nobody had mentioned mental health, postnatal depression at this point, and they were overlooking it because she was sick, right? So everyone's going, oh, she's got a bug, or there's something going on with this, or she needs this, and whatever like that. And this nurse just grabbed me by the arm and she goes, I think this is more than anything to do with meds. I think this is what's kind of happening. And I don't know, it just triggered something in my head, and I just thought, fuck, maybe that is it. And do you remember we went back after you come back and we took us some chocolates, and you don't remember that? We took us some chocolates and sort of she was so sweet, but it was this nurse who did it. And that's why nurses, I mean, you know, I remember before meeting Beck, this is terrible, but I thought nurses just wipe people's fucking asses, right? I mean, that's what I thought it was. It was terrible. Right. And I don't, you know, and then
fucking hell.
I know. And then when she did the 3 years at uni and the level of skill involved with it, and then what they do.
It takes to wipe an arse 3 fucking years.
I know.
3 years.
I know.
But no, I think that we've had, like, I think that's the point to be made, is that everyone's journey with mental health is completely different. It's not linear. It's if what works for one person won't work for another person. With me, I tried like CBT, so I went to like these like kind of talking groups and things, and the CBT stuff didn't work for me. It wasn't something that I found helpful personally. What I did find helpful was going to the groups and being able to see people in different stages of their recovery. And I think that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see someone out the other end of it, because when you're in it, you're like, this is never going to end. I'm going to feel like this for the rest of my life. Every day I'm going to wake up and it's going to feel like this. So seeing people, they were at my stage, at the beginning stage, in the kind of middle stage, and some people who were kind of out the other side of it, I found that like really encouraging. I think that I've started recognise it. Well, I recognised quite quickly what my triggers were. So sleep was a big thing. Feeling hungry. I know it sounds really weird, but like if I have had like a kind, because when you're anxious, you get that sicky feeling in your tummy, that kind of really sicky feeling, especially when you're sleep deprived as well. Like I would find that if I felt hungry at all, so I would like overeat because I didn't like that feeling of feeling sicky because it would kind of be quite triggering. But we switched to formula pretty early on with Harry, because I was like the breastfeeding thing was that was brutal. It was brutal. I was on medication and I wasn't sleeping obviously, and that was and we just kind of basically weighed up the risks and benefits, and we were like, for us this is the right decision, because he was able to obviously help with doing the feeding and stuff, and I was able to get a little like some sleep, and it was so I think it
was amazing. But I suppose when you come out of it, like Beck was saying, you go, she goes through her side of it, and I had a bit with Charlie and stuff like that. But you think now in the position we're in now, like you go, how the fuck could you think that? Like, or how could you feel that way?
Yeah.
Now, the love and all the rest.
Doesn't matter though, does it? When you're in it, you're in it, you're in it.
It's crazy. Just like it's mad. The whole journey thing's brilliant, but I think it totally changed my whole
perception of things.
Perception.
It's given me a lot more kind of like, I think it's given us both a lot more understanding and more empathy for people, especially like with my job and stuff, when I see people,
and strength as well. Though I think it gives you an untold level of like strength, because if you can identify what those triggers are, or when things aren't right or whatever like that. I'm lucky, touch wood, that I don't live in a constant battle. I don't, I'm lucky with that. But I never fucking want to go back to that again. I never want to.
Can you get that off the screen, please, Steve?
Yeah, sorry, we've just had something come up saying, we've got to have an update, and it means we couldn't see your face, Beck. Sorry. I've got to say, guys, just to interrupt really quickly, like, you two are incredible. I think you're absolutely incredible. I mean, just listening to your story, and I, you sound like, I know you're kind of, well, I feel like, I'm making an assumption, I feel like you're probably skirting over quite a lot of really dark times and but even what you have said, it sounds like you've been through shit and actually been really strong for each other, like and as well as doing probably two of the most stressful careers going and having kids. And I know you're going to sit there and say, you're privileged and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, COVID was a horrendous time. You clearly, you can see as a stranger that doesn't really know either of you at all, like I can see your love together, the love that you've got for each other, it just kind of radiates from you, like when you're talking and everything like that. It's an incredible story. Just what you were saying, Guy, about kind of, and I picture you standing in the brasserie, like looking at the kids. I'm looking at the kids, so that sounds terrible. Looking at the looking at the families and that at Easter. Yeah. I think that's something that a lot of blokes struggle with, because it's in direct conflict, isn't it? Like, I struggle with it a lot, and it's really odd. Like, not so much my girls, oddly. So I've got two girls, 16, 17, and a boy that's 13, 12 actually, sorry. And for some reason, like, I really struggle. I feel like I should be doing more for him because he's a boy.
Yeah.
I should be. And I have a conversation with him frequently, like, should we do... And he doesn't want to do anything because he's a boy. He wants to sit playing games or go out with his friends or whatever it is, But you can't help but think, you're like, well, I've got to pay the mortgage, and I've also got to feed people, and I've also got to do a job, and I've also, I've got to look after my mental health, and I've got to go running, I've got to do... And it's difficult, isn't it? It's like it is, and it breeds that problem of, am I enough?
Yeah, and that's fucker, and that's a really good one to talk about, because that saying, that one saying is like, you always are, because they always say only the good ones ask themselves that actual thing, right? Only the ones who are making the effort and are doing everything right are the people who asked themselves that. So you're already doing it, and I think that's the crucial thing about it, is that you were already doing it. So, you know, Beck is
Well said.
Beck and I, like, I'm like, so we have 1 day a week, which is Sunday, right? So we're off on Sundays as a family unit. So we need to do something. Now, I love to go fishing. I love to play golf, and I like to go to the pub as much as I possibly can. But for me, but then the thing that grips me is that, well, I don't do any fishing and I don't do any golf and all the rest of it, because my boys are a young age that they can't do those things with me in the way that I want to kind of do them. If I do them, I'm taking them to go and do it, as opposed to making time for like me, right? And Beck is one of the people who's like, you need to fuck off and go fishing.
Yeah. I'm loads better at, like, because I used to think that if I did anything for myself, I used to think I was so selfish. I'd be like, God, you're a selfish person, you know. And I've now, like, I get one morning a week which is to myself, because both the boys are in school, and that morning I'll drop them off at school and I won't go home. I'll go out and about, I'll go meet friends and stuff like that, and I won't feel guilty for it, because I know that if I'm at home, there's lots of things to do and to occupy myself with, you know, laundry and all of that kind of stuff. So I think I'm really good at recognizing mentally, and that when I need to have space and when I need to do my own things. But you're terrible at it.
Yeah.
So on a Sunday, I'll be like, well, why don't you just go off in the morning and like go play some golf, and then we'll meet up for lunch and do whatever. But he's like, no, because he feels that time is
work. I mean, exercise is crucial. I mean, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week before work.
That's been a blessing,
and that changed a lot, and that really became in that whole Easter thing, Easter 2023. That's when I started to change. I started going in the May, and that's changed everything. I mean, really everything, because it means I can get a lot of my frustrations out, you know, that I've got here, out at the gym, have a really good workout, and then I can go to work and I'm like ready for it, you know. And the whole like routine, the whole discipline of having to do it. I'm quite an organised person in my work, so I have to be really organised in my work. Everything has a place and a system and all the rest of it. So to do that at home, it takes extra effort. And actually, when you're knackered and you're doing 70 hours a week or whatever, and you're trying to do the gym, and you've got to live with that.
We're like the complete opposite.
It's like
I'm so relaxed. I'm like horizontal. So mate. he'll be like, oh my God, we've got to get to this appointment, and I'm like, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's like you're just talking about this, like about us basking in like love and shit like that. I swear to God, that would break any fucking man. It's just like I could be weak, because I've got to be everywhere 5 minutes early, and I'll do everything I need to do to make sure that happens. But if we leave 10 minutes late to Beck, it's like
I'm on time.
Hey, she's smashing it.
Do you know what? So as a business relationship,
oh fuck that.
When it comes to the podcast with me and him,
I'm
like you, Guy. I'm like, do you know what? You've got to be. Like for this, if it's 6 o'clock kickoff, 7 or whatever, I want Steve round here at 5:30, 5:30, ready to kick off at 6. He's turned up at 5 to 6 before.
Fucking madness.
And he's like, he strolls in, and I'm like, dude, we're literally talking to people in 3 minutes. Oh, don't worry, because technically I set up all the lights and do other like wanky stuff. Yeah. But he's the one that like connects shit up properly.
Yeah, but you see, I look at it like my time is really precious to me.
Yeah, it fucking is to me.
Yeah, but I feel like you're wasting so much of it just by doing everything.
Don't even try to make out that it's okay.
You don't need half an hour.
Being organised,
you know,
planning.
Yeah, but yeah. But I don't know. It's a funny one, you know. You're right. What's going on?
Moving the camera over slowly.
But no, and you know what? You're right with regards to the like doing a gym and stuff like that. See, I'm going through a bit of a phase at the moment where I've fallen out of, I'm feeling a bit kind of meh.
Which phase are you going through at the moment? Your smoking phase or your...
Fucking God, no. I've got this vicious love triangle going on with, like,
cock,
with
rum, cigarettes.
With, like, booze, fags, and food. And, like, I can, like, knock one of them on the head.
I guess I could
knock one of them off. But then the other two just fucking gang up. And they're like, maybe I'll go on a diet. I'll go on a diet, and the next day I'm a fucking raging alcohol.
I know what you mean.
It's hard, isn't it?
I know what you mean. I mean, I don't drink generally during the week. That's what I sort of told myself, was like, I need to do that, because remember at the last period at the Isle of Rocks, it goes really quiet during the kind of the winter months and stuff like that, and then the boys will go, oh, let's go for a quick beer at the pub. And you go, okay, we'll go for a quick beer. You have a beer, then you go home. And then the next night they're like, oh, well, we're finishing early. Let's go to the pub again and whatever like that. And you have one, maybe two. And then suddenly you're like, hold on a second. And I'm like, I got, some of my family have had various issues with alcohol and stuff previously in their past and all kind of rest of it. So I'm like super fucking careful about it, right? I'm like, if I see it creeping in or anything like that, I'm like, no, I don't want to be anywhere fucking near it, because I've seen it destroy people. But
it's a social thing, though. I think it's easy to get into unhealthy habits, because it's everywhere really. It's the way people socialise
But you hardly drink. No, she says that. No, she hardly. When she does,
she's just done a fucking magnum of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I don't. I've just gone off it a little bit. I just have it when I fancy it. I was drinking for the sake of drinking, and
that's the problem, isn't it?
Having a couple of glasses of wine just for the sake of having a couple of glasses of wine. So I don't really do that anymore. But in Jersey, I remember, we were in quite a really unhappy place with where we were and wanting to be back home. And I had quite an unhealthy relationship with alcohol at that time. I wouldn't say I was alcoholic or anything like that, but I definitely used alcohol as a way to kind of
masquerade.
Kind of like make myself feel a little bit better, I suppose. Which is
it all links in, doesn't it?
But so
you can easily end up drinking too much, though, can't you? Like you have a few beers, like on a one night, because you whatever, you finish work early or you've got the night off, whatever it might be, and then the following night, like you were saying, Guy, you finish a little bit early, or I'll have a couple. And before you know it, you're sort of looking, oh, God, look, I enjoyed that. And then you have a couple more, and then you have a couple more, and you're on it can creep up quite quickly. It's surprising.
Really, I'll tell you what I struggle with alcohol is the anxiety in the morning.
Oh
my God.
Oh, fucking hell. I tell you what, I don't...
Anxiety. Woo!
I don't generally ever drink. I've got to work the next day. So I've had times where I've been out. I was in Morrison's, I don't know, 8-10 years ago.
I fucking love Morrison's.
Oh, I spend all my day in there.
You're in there every day.
And literally,
I was sticking items for his customers.
Yeah, and I was stood at the trolley and just was thinking everyone's staring at me, panicked and walked out. Because I live like 10 minutes walk, 5 minutes walk. I can't stick it, can I? I get in quite a state. Like if we have a drink I like to have a drink on a Sunday, go and watch football. We need to talk about football in a minute, guys. So you two need to pipe down. So like if I have a drink on a Sunday, you go down Sunday afternoon, watch a bit of football, 2:00. You're like, I'm only gonna have a couple because I'm just watching one game. Before you know it, it's fucking 10:00 and you're stumbling home. Yeah. And then Monday morning comes and you've got to work, and I'm fucking waking up like 6:00 in the morning to go in the cold tub, freaking out, thinking like panicking. I'm thinking, just can't, like, I'm terrible with that, aren't I?
Yeah.
Get myself in knots.
You do work, you wind yourself right up. Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit the opposite. I have this, because sometimes I can't stop working. Like I'll work all night. And then
that's because of poor time management, though.
I mean, potatoes. And then, but I'll have a drink at my desk when I'm working,
Yeah.
This is
at
7
night,
this is 7 o'clock in the
not
morning.
in the day.
Yeah.
And then it's like comes to like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were talking about this, weren't we, yesterday? 4 o'clock in the morning, you're like, fucking hell, like
Yeah.
I'm still drinking.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get up in a minute.
All been
Fucking, like, not get
Totally.
up, but yeah, just gotta kind of do my morning stuff. But
Yeah.
Bex, I had a quick question for you. Like, what did you notice most about Guy? Like when he was going through that kind of that from a female perspective. Like, what were the kind of signs? Do you think? Was there any, like, apart from, I know you said it was physical things like puffy eyes, and were there? What was it? Because people talk about it being like a black dog, don't they? Or,
Yeah, I get
you
like
know,
I get like it. Yeah.
What did you notice?
I think the main thing I noticed was the irritability. Like, he was definitely more irritable, definitely more kind of like short-tempered. Like, he never used to kind of like scream or shout or anything like that, but you did sense this kind of atmosphere, especially in the mornings coming down and everything. I was quite tentative, not really kind of knowing what the atmosphere was going to be like or the situation.
Cool.
And I think it was, quite obvious that he wasn't sleeping well either. I mean, he wasn't sleeping. I think that when you've been with someone for as long as we've been together, you sense that in the night, you sense that restlessness, and that, there's something up. So I'd come down quite tentatively and be like, hello.
Yeah. Imagine the shit that makes you feel looking back,
And I'm one of those, I am just a prolific people pleaser. And unfortunately, if there's something wrong, I always kind of think, oh God, I've done something wrong. Like, it's me, like I've done something wrong and I want to fix it. So like I was being quite maybe overbearing, because I'd be kind of like, oh, is everything okay? Like, what can I do? Oh, I'll make your coffee. And like, kind of that walking on eggshell kind of thing. But like,
that's a female thing as well, I think, as well. Like, I don't,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Just really quickly, just to interrupt you on that point, if I can, Bex. Like, I think it's really interesting because I imagine, and I'm kind of talking for you, Guy, but feel free to tell me I'm wrong. But certainly, if I try and think how that would make me feel, you being like that, Bex, which sounds beautiful on the outside, you know what I mean? Of kind of like, oh, it's clearly something wrong. I wanna fix him almost, or not fix him, but I wanna show him that I love him. I wanna comfort him, I wanna help him. I know and that does happen to me, we feel suffocated a little bit, and not only suffocated, but that suffocation can sometimes manifest as kind of emasculated, as a bit like, whoa, I don't, what are you doing? I'm the one that takes care of you. What are you taking care of? Did you experience that at all, Guy?
Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, I never felt less of a man, but I don't know whether or not that was. We did little things with us that we wanted that made me feel good being a man. So one thing I always wanted to do was that I always said to Beck, when we get married, I want to pay to put a roof over our heads. That's what I want to do. I feel that's, and gender roles, some people they hate the whole concept of it. For me, I'm pro certain gender roles. Because I think, I think it works for men in lots of ways for their minds and stuff. So I wanted to kind of do that, and Beck's money was very much more towards our sort of daily living, shopping, trips, holidays, all these sorts of things, sorting the kids out, making sure the kids had whatever they wanted, and all those sorts of things. So I suppose having some of that in there with it, I just felt like I just wanted to be left to it. If I'm honest, I was like, stop fucking asking me because I'm shitty. And it's sort of like, I wanted to get away from it. Like, if anything, I don't think it was a case of feeling any less of a man, because I think mine and Beck's understanding of each other we're kind of past that shit to a certain level, I think that we don't need to work like that. I think it was a case of like, I was trying to be boneheaded and being like, leave me to figure it out, when clearly I was failing at it. And she was trying to help me, and I think that was much more of this sort of like, boneheadedness. Was the issue.
I think I was just trying to keep avenue of communication open so that he kind of he could talk to me. But like at one point, I had to say to them, I had to be like, "How bad is this? Like how bad is this?" Because like,
yeah, I mean, like you could go into the very end of the scale.
And then he was like, "No, it's like not that bad." And I was like, "Okay, that's what I need to know because I need to know how bad this is, because if this is like really bad and you're not telling me, then we need to like figure it out."
Yeah,
because
I
kept asking and not really getting very much back.
Yeah,
and you never know what's going on in someone's mind and the way that they're thinking. So I was.
I think to make it clear. Sorry to make it clear to anybody, if anybody does watch and listen, hopefully they do. They do, don't they? A few people do. That it's if females are watching this thinking, "Wow, I don't know whether I should be asked or not." Fucking ask.
Yeah, man.
Ask if 100%. You think your fellas.
Ask.
And I know what you were saying when I was in the shit place. If I did get asked, I'd be a bit like. It wouldn't make me feel less of a man, but it would just make me feel like, oh, fucking leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
In my head, I'm like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm cool, man. Yeah, even though inside I just want to fucking kill myself. But like, ask.
I think
not all the time, but like,
you're definitely right.
Keep the lines of communication open.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say to anyone watching this, if you're a girl, and your partner's doing this or whatever, like that, is don't pussyfoot fucking round it. Fucking ask.
Yeah.
Like stop.
Yeah.
And make it a serious thing. Like fucking stop and talk to me right now about is and ask the most brutal question, because when Beck did that, it wasn't, oh, I'll make you a coffee, and as she was saying, oh, you're all right, is everything okay, and this sort of thing where you're like, I'm being a dick, so let me be a dick. It was fucking stop, Guy. Right, where are we with this shit? And it was like that was when the whole line opened.
It's asking the question.
Yeah,
it's like being like, how bad is this?
Yeah,
honest about how bad is this, because we all know how bad it can get.
Yeah.
I mean, we know people.
I've had 4 friends since school who've all sadly passed on. And for me, it was a massive thing, and a friend from school, he left behind 4 children, and it was just, unbelievable, extraordinary. And, there was his 12-year-old daughter found, and it was just horrific, and I just feel like with that level of it, if you can't have, a partner, but if you're not with somebody, a great friend of mine, one of my closest friends ever, guy called Paul, who, if it wasn't for him at the Idle Rocks, and his support to me, and vice versa, we both went through a lot of shit at the Idle Rocks, right? We're both fucking working really hard and all the rest of it. But it doesn't always have to be your partner. It can just be somebody to just fucking listen, or to just be like, what are we doing? But somebody to ask the question properly. My only thing is, the only major advice I can give for anybody who's concerned for a friend or a loved one or whatever, is if you are, fucking ask them, but do it properly. Don't pussyfoot around and be like, you all right, mate? Is everything all right at the moment? They tell you to do that, and that means nothing, because to a bloke, we're just like,
I'm fine,
fine,
good.
We're fucking fine. Get a beer down,
And that's what I was getting at earlier. Like, I feel like stereotypically that's what a bloke kind of feels, because, again, and I can't speak for everyone. For me, I'm like, I don't want to share that pain, and I think that's what a lot of guys do. They don't want to, not just guys, but blokes, Funny joke, obviously. They want to, inherently, we want to protect. Our role is to protect and nourish, and like, we don't want to let that pain seep to the people that we love.
But who is it we're protecting? So protecting what? Who?
Well, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying
no. I'm just saying, what is that?
Well, you got Becs, or let's not use Becs, but the female in the relationship typically that is clearly sensing that there's something wrong, and therefore we can sense that they think there's something wrong with us, and because we want to protect them from the pain that we're feeling, we go, no, babe, it's all good. It's all good. And then we see old fucking Gary down the pub.
It's always Gary,
isn't it? Or Darren. Hey, you all right, fella? You all right, fella? Yeah. I'm good, mate. Hey, lads. Yeah, because again, it's a release, isn't it? We actually, it's fake, it's bullshit. But when you're at the pub and you're with a group of mates that go to the pub, everyone has a role to play.
Yeah.
Especially in a blokes group, everyone, you got the joker, you got the geeky one, everyone's got, and you upset that dynamic.
Yeah.
And you can't, so it's all kind of like, oh, lads, it's fucking, and that's what we're shit at. Like, we're really shit at that. And I love the fact that you're saying, fucking just ask a question. If nothing else,
just ask.
It'll make them jump.
Do you think kind of like with the kind of Gen Z generation, with this new generation coming, I think like there's less of that. Do you think, where the kind of like younger generation are coming in, they seem a lot more aware, even men, of the way that they're feeling. Is that right? Or
definitely.
Do you think it's a different mentality? I think now to our generation.
But do you think that's because you find with Gen Z that they're more feminine now these days? Man, you go back 20, 30 years ago, they're more in touch with their kind of sort of female side of it, and I think
it's interesting. It is really interesting that you say that. I do think that that the younger generation now are absolutely more in touch. Not only more in touch with their selves mentally, they're a lot more tolerant as well, which I think those two things go hand in hand. Although I think, and I'm not saying all of us, but we've got a lot to answer for as an older generation, because how many times do you hear bloody people going, they're just a bunch of pussies now, all these bloody so there's all that kind of going on, and we've got a lot to learn from them, and it's, I think we don't quite understand. I think there's a lot that's going to come out over the next few years, right? I think social media is fucking horrendous.
What I worry about two boys, because I think not only do men now have because women predominantly, like there was a lot of pressure to look good. I mean, a lot of pressures that women face are predominantly about good. Physically. A lot of the pressures that men face are providing, being providers, being protectors. But now you are finding that because of social media with men, they are having the same pressures as women, really, in regards 100%. To appearance and looking good. And, women, are saying, oh, no, I don't, I want a 6'2" man who's got X amount of money, and this kind of stuff. So it's...
fits me. I fit the bill on that.
I don't think that it doesn't necessarily kind of I think it's quite common for men and women to have the same kind of pressures in that regards, especially with social media. And that's what I worry about with our two boys is, we try and eliminate social media as much as possible. They're not on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. And we're trying to avoid it like the plague as much as we can, because we know how of an effect it can have on your, they were, even with YouTube and stuff like that, they were watching that for a little while, and you notice the behaviours changing and stuff.
I don't even know how you would even manage that, having young kids now with social media. I don't know.
No,
just don't know.
I mean, we held on for a long time, but then you come up against your child is different. And
you want them to fit in.
You do, don't you? But do you know what? In hindsight, when I look back, I think I would have preferred for him not to fit in. All of mine have been bullied at some stage for what they look like, or and it's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking when and all my kids have been blessed with their mum's looks, it's
Thank goodness.
yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you look at your kids and you think, fuck me, like you are beautiful. You know, and you're not you're saying it. You know, it's not like when you first have a baby and everyone goes, oh, it's fucking lovely, and then you know sometimes you think actually, you know, they're a bit fucking squashed or whatever. You know, but I look at them and I think, you know, they're absolutely handsome and beautiful, and to hear them going, oh god, I'm so fucking ugly, I'm fat. You know, I'm all, and you think fat.
But if
like
that your home used to be a really, like, I remember my home being a really safe place to go, because
not anymore.
those Nokia phones where you could only save like 10 messages, and you'd have to be really pedantic about the messages that you saved. You know, playing Snake on your phone, dial-up connections. Like, we didn't have the internet like we have now, and your home used to be a really safe place. But now it follows children home. So where it used to be a safe space, like it's not anymore.
Yeah,
so it's scary.
It's fucking scary. Yeah, it's really scary. I mean, it's supposed to be.
But all we can do is you know, try and guide them in the right way, right? I mean, that's the long and short of it, really. I think that's the downside of where we are. You know, yes, they're more tolerant. Yes, they're more, you know, I think they're more open. But they're also more influenced by things that we would have, you know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really, really tough. And I think you see, and I think the biggest scale of it is that all parents raise their kids in varying different ways, and I know that there are some children who go to school with Harry who already have phones. You know, they're already part of that sort of network, and that's what their parents have wanted them to kind of do, and that's up to them. You know, we're not anybody to judge that in any way. You know, and
no, not at all.
Anybody wants to parent their own children is absolutely fine. You know, but we're just like, and that's where the pressure starts on parents, because then they're coming back and going, well, hold on, this guy, this one, these people have got their phones, and it's really cool, and I want to be part of that. And then that's the heart ripping, because you're like, well, I want you to be socially to fit in, but at the same time, I'm not going to, I don't know how much I give a fuck about you socially fitting in when I'm trying to look after your general welfare. Because you're going to play this whole thing with fucking Roblox recently has just come out of the woodwork.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, it's fucking awful, and it's like, you know, Harry, when he was 5, was banging on about wanting us to get that bloody game for him, and we've just gone like, no way, you know, online gaming, and you can't do that at your age. It's ridiculous, you know, and
Fortnite and all that kind of stuff.
You know, who knows?
Yeah, 100%.
It is.
You wait till they start wanting to go into town after school and stuff like that. That's when the you know, it's just terrifying. Of course, they're oblivious to it as well. You know, they're you know, I say to my daughter, you know, and I say they're absolutely stunning, beautiful girls. You know, but they'll walk home, you know, or they'll want to walk home at like 10 o'clock at night because they've, you know, obviously they're older now, but you know, or they've been around a friend's house. I'm like, why didn't you phone me? I'll come pick you up.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
We've all done that where you've been in the middle of
well, I was going to say, we've all done that.
You know, and just you know, and just doing stupid shit, which you think, you know,
I know.
You come out the other side of it, but people are not. Some people aren't as lucky as that, are they?
No.
But it's having that self-awareness, and I think, like with what you guys are doing, is just promoting. You know, educating people and just trying to
talking is what we're going for. Yeah,
it's the main thing, really.
Massively helps.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crucial. We all have to do it more, but do it in the right ways. I think some of the advice out there is good, it's positive, and I think some of it is just pussyfooty shit, and we got to stop that.
Yeah.
It's not a pussyfooty topic; it's a fucking serious topic, and it's a topic that you've got to break break the ice with it and be like, if there's a fucking problem, let's chew it right. Let's chew the fat right fucking now, not next week.
Oh yeah.
When you've thought about what you want to say and how you're going to cover shit up. Let's get you into a place where we'll open you up and you can talk to me directly about it. And trust me, you're not going to scare me off by saying, you know, some shit that's going on in your fucking head. And I think that's the beauty of it. That's the crucial thing about it, is that whatever anybody's going to say to you, you got to just sit there and be like, it's fucking fine. You know, that's the whole point of it. We're supposed to be talking at a really personal, intimate level, and that's
No, you're absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on.
it's crucial.
On that note, I was thinking they were saying about talking, being asked things, and then having a week to think about it.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking, you know, we want to say thank you very much.
Yeah, we have kept you a long time
but
tonight as well.
You've both been exceptionally open. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. I know we are fucking perfect.
Yeah.
No. I didn't fucking say that.
Yeah.
Don't twist our words.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
But go on.
It's really good.
We got a little question for you, but we need one of you to go out of the room if that's all right, and we'll bring you back in a minute once we've spoken to the other one.
So you have to go out so you can't hear, Guy. Don't be fucking sticking your ear against the door.
Has he gone back?
Hello.
You let us know when he's gone.
He's walking around there.
No idea what's going on. Where's he gone?
Has he gone?
You're outside. You could.
Oh, good. Yeah, so just quickly, one of the things that we asked our guests, but we've never had a couple on before, so we wanted to ask you separately.
Yeah.
But what is your definition of love?
Oh, that's a very hard question to ask.
And even harder if you were together as well.
Definition of love. I mean, there's all types of different types of love, isn't there? I mean, there's the love that you have.
Oh, yeah, but for you,
Me, I think
for
love,
you.
I think love is just. It is just being, wanting to be with people that share the same ideals as you. It's just that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get. It's wanting to be with a certain person. It's wanting to spend all your time with them. It's wanting to protect them, to do, everything that you do is kind of for them. I mean, the love that I have for my mum, for instance, is different than the love that I have for, my children, and the difference that I have for. And I think it's not until you have children sometimes that you realize how much you can love someone. I didn't for instance, I didn't realize how much my mum loved me until I had children. So when I had my own children, I was like, oh, that's how much
what it is.
Me. And then it kind of clicked. So, I mean, you have that kind of love where you jump in front of a bus for someone kind of thing. You have the kind of love where you stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning to talk to someone. You have the love where you want to, just go on a night out. It comes in varying different ways.
Yeah. I suppose the point is about relationship love.
It's a hard question to answer, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is. And it's this came about from me.
I can't hear you very well. I can't hear what you're saying.
Can you not? Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Oh,
I can't hear you now.
Hear me? Oh, what's happening?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Not very well.
Oh no.
That's all right. It's fine. We'll just see what's going on. See if she's going to come back. She's reconnecting.
No, let's just drop her a message.
So she should be able to reconnect. So they're going to come back in, I think. And we'll just... Yeah, they should be able to come back in. They should be able to join. Maybe the
Guy's outside.
Yeah. Maybe their what do you call it? Their batteries run out.
No.
That's all right.
Should we give him a call?
See if they should be able to join back in.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen.
It always goes so well when we have
Oh,
guests.
right on the fucking nose as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we give him a call?
Give him a call.
Call group. Oh, no, it's going to call.
Well.
So how do I bring up?
So go down.
Oh, there we are. This guy. Should we put him on?
Yeah. See what's on. Run out of battery, I reckon.
No.
Yeah, because he's probably left his phone. I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? Maybe they had enough of us.
They could have done.
Yeah.
Well, that was a shitty ending.
Maybe Guy didn't like Bec's definition of love.
Yeah.
So you fucking what?
But he's not even read the message, so maybe the battery has gone flat.
It should be alright though. But no, it rang, didn't it? So.
Does it ring if it's flat?
Well, it would go. Yeah, it wouldn't answer, I don't think. But let's see. Let's give him a few more minutes. Just to see if they
Let's just give him
a few
more minutes.
And see what happens, because you never know. Giga Chad. Can you do a Giga...
Do what?
Can you do a Giga Chad face?
What's a Giga Chad?
Like where you kind of... You know, like those people that had, like, sculptured... You know, where they've got, like... You know what I mean? A bit like Sylvester Stallone. Shout out to Sylvester Stallone.
He's got a rubbery old face, hasn't he?
He has. I'm quite addicted to him at the moment,
He's
actually.
got quite very much like a...
And he goes quite funny, doesn't he? Like, he goes like...
It doesn't move. There's not much movement.
Not even more so now.
Hey, here's a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
Who's going to win out of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul?
Not a clue. Not a fucking...
Oh, well, that's...
Well, I think hopefully Mike Tyson, because he's the only one that's a boxer. So
Well, they say that about Jake Paul. He's not a boxer. Depends on how you determine a boxer.
He's a YouTuber. And I just don't really like him.
Oh, no, I'm not saying he is like a proper boxer, but he is a boxer.
Is he a boxer?
Yeah, I think so. But he's not like...
That's just, yeah, but that's just like saying I'm a chef. I can cook. But does that make me a
it's
chef?
very different. That is. It's very different.
Does that make me a chef? Why don't you phone his mobile, not on WhatsApp, but on...
Okay, how do we... can we copy and paste?
Yeah, you should be able to... Where's his number on there? You just hold down his number.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Let's hit the paste.
Thanks, Stephen.
I know what you like a little bit.
Thanks, Stephen.
See what's going on.
Hello, is that Guy?
Hiya.
Hello, is that Guy?
It is.
Hello, Guy. Did your battery run out?
Yeah, it did.
Are you a knob end?
I am a knob end, yes.
These fucking
correct.
chefs are fucking useless. So can you join? We're still recording, so you can. We've got like 2 minutes more to record, but we're still recording now. So can you join back in?
Yeah, sure. Hold on one sec.
Come on. Silly Guy Fawkes.
2 minutes.
Look at those porky sausages you've got going on there. Have you ever taken your wedding ring off? Right on cue.
I always move it. Always take it off. To be honest, yeah, sometimes...
God, it looks like it's tight.
Yeah, it's not, though. It's not. Look.
Well, the old... Do you have knuckles? You've got no knuckles.
Of course I've got knuckles.
Look.
They're knuckles.
They're just pork.
No, they're knuckles, bruv.
Brav.
Is that Theo Emery?
Yeah, through Amory.
What's he saying?
I've got one on interview with Marco Pierre. Got a one-on-one interview with Marco Pierre White next week. I'll have to send to watch us.
Fancy. Right, here we go. Come on, guys. Guy.
It's 2 minutes.
2 minutes, guys. All we need of your time.
Hour and 30.
I don't think they want to come back in. I think they've had enough. I'm gonna put my siren on. Quite loud, isn't it?
What's that? Dude, what is that?
What?
How many more fucking times do you want me to say it?
It's my emergency siren. Look who's back.
Oh, we're back.
Again.
We're back.
Hey. What the fuck? What is going on?
Look at his face. He looks like he's just drunk 10 pints.
We ran out.
He's fucking. Oh, there he is. It's crashed.
Jesus Christ!
You know when it goes red and it warns you the fucking battery's low. You know.
Well, I was looking at it and I was thinking, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. And then it's pissing out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's thinking these fucking two blokes will shut up in a minute. Anyway, right. So Bex, you need to leave just for 2 minutes, and we'll ask the other fella.
I bet she's like spilled the beans now. I bet you've been.
Did she say?
No.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. That's good because you can't talk about it until she'll almost watch it back.
Yeah.
But anyways, is she gone?
He's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your definition of love?
My definition of love. Oh,
yeah.
So it's a question we ask at the end of every chat we have with people.
Yeah. So I don't know. I suppose that the definition of love for me is, you go along the whole lines of it. You know, you always want to be there for somebody, and you take everybody's bad, but you make it good. So every bad you are positive about the bad, because that's what makes somebody good. And you shouldn't ever view it as bad. It's not. It's part of who they are, and you can't truly love somebody unless you love all of it. And I suppose for me, I can be frustrated with things, and so Beck and I, like Becky's timekeeping skills, but it's part of what it is. And actually, often the timekeeping skills, which causes me to get narky, we laugh about afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely a massive part of what love is, and but it's
the
just
whole package.
Yeah, you have to be. It has to be. And if you don't go with that, you can't truly love somebody. So, we've gone through loads of ups and downs, and through all of that. But there's nothing bad about her. So I suppose that's probably why I do love Bec so much. It's because there's nothing bad there. Just things that
just
can
a
really
timekeeping.
Fuck me off. I suppose that's it.
That's amazing. That's a. I like that.
Love
that's
that.
A brilliant answer.
Well,
call her back in.
Call her back in. Go on.
And then, but you can't discuss. You can't discuss
it.
You can't discuss it. You're gonna have to watch it when it comes on. We'll let you know when it comes out.
Bec. That's good.
No, glass is full.
Yeah, no, we were just saying you can't discuss it.
She filled it up for the 15 seconds that she went out, and now it's almost empty.
You got to promise not to discuss it until you watch it back. But yeah, no, look, we're going to leave you two because we've taken up an enormous amount of time of your evening.
You can charge your phone now, afterwards.
And don't forget what I said at the beginning.
Anything under 85%, and that's it. You start having palpitations. I'm joking by this.
Oh my God!
Never
just
going to
quickly,
live it down because it's always my phone. So
what are you like with petrol, Bex? Because I'm constantly on the red light.
Don't go there. Don't go there with the fucking petrol. Becky's favourite trick is that when I get in the car to go to work in the morning, it's on fucking red.
Yeah, why not? But that's more economical. That's more economical. Yeah.
That would get right up my fucking nose. Where do you live? Look at he's fucking. He's having an anxiety attack.
We're all right because we've got Tesco petrol station about 500 yards away, so I can roll down.
So you have to make sure you leave 10 minutes early every fucking day.
That sounds like a you problem.
Oh,
It is a me fucking problem because I'm the one that always has to solve it.
Do you want to re-answer your what your love question is now, Guy? Or yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now.
Pretty imperfect.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, you've been amazing. Thank you so
I've
much.
had an absolute fucking
Hey,
blast.
it's a pleasure.
It's been good.
Yeah, thank you
I
very,
think we've
very
taken
much.
up too much of your time.
Oh no, stop it. We've taken up too much of yours.
Stop.
Right, we'll see you soon then. Enjoy.
All right, guys.
And have a lovely evening.
Take care of yourselves. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.